Welcome to Mic'd and Medicated. We are so excited. We are actually coming to you live from Dr. Gullo's home and office. And I am just so delighted that you are on the show. I'm going to do a brief introduction. Dr. Gullo has literally over a half century of experience in emotion and nutrition. And starting with his studies and research at Columbia, Cornell, he served as the chair of the National Obesity and Weight Control Medical Center. And he's really been a pioneer in the emergent field of behavioral nutrition. He has helped over 20,000 people from across the globe manage their weight and live better. And he really brings unique and creative strategies, sometimes seemingly unorthodox, but always with a dose of humor. And it's really a testament to his personality, his brains, and his success that he is sought after internationally and has clients stretching from Shanghai to Hollywood. So welcome, Dr. Gullo.
Forgot he's also knighted by the Imperial Royal Family. So he's
Thank
also
you,
a
Caroline.
sir. And I did want to add that we have a lot in common already because the three of us all want to be thin and laugh, which, you know, I love your motto. You say, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're probably missing the best joke of the day.
Yes.
And I have to also thank you because one of the 20,000 people, two of them are my parents who you've been helping stay thin and sane. So thank you. And I probably have a lot of your sayings in my repertoire starting from age 12. So I appreciate that.
Caroline, that might be considered child abuse if you had listened to my slogans growing up.
Oh my God, I was thinking that. I was thinking.
It might be. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, right?
Right.
Although I grew up with that same saying. I had a grandma who always said, you can never be too rich or too thin.
Yes.
So we just thought we would dive right into a topic that is just in the zeitgeist right now, and that is the GLP-1s. And you have a lot to say about this, so we want to hear.
Eva and Caroline, I notice also your podcast has the word medicated in
Yes,
the title.
it does.
So this is most appropriate. Many years ago, there was a hit movie called The Valley of the Dolls. It was about people taking pills. Well, today, we have a new revolution with the injections. I must tell you, the greatest contribution of the GLP-1 injections had nothing to do with weight. For the first time in the history of medicine, we have found a cure for trypanophobia, fear of needles. Never have so
my God,
many.
I'm dead.
I mean,
Never have so many who fear so much, rush so hard to find a needle. So they have made a great contribution to psychology and to medicine in overcoming this phobia. But it does show how determined people are
to be skinny.
That even in spite of the fear of pain, being overweight is a greater pain.
Yes. And so instead of Valley of the Dolls, it's the Valley of the GLP-1s.
Yes. Welcome to the Upper East Side.
Where Eva and I are considered in the obese category.
Well, Caroline's been saying this for a while. Now that everybody is on Ozempic, we're obese as we walk down the street.
Well, don't worry. You have plenty of company if you think you're obese on the Upper East Side.
So, you know, a lot of people we know are on Ozempic. A lot of people are Ozempic curious. And I'm wondering, you in your practice, are you working with it? What are you seeing as the benefits and risks? And what do you recommend when it comes to these drugs?
Okay. First, let me tell you a little about my own background. I have a PhD in psychology from Columbia and did a postdoc in nutrition at Cornell. So I don't give medication, but I refer people who could benefit from it. I'm a complete strategist. I believe in doing what works. In my books, I have said, don't worry about being normal. It's the preoccupation of the insecure. Worry about what works for your life. That's what's normal for you. And if the injections help a person, my ethical duty is to refer them, and I work with them because the injections help to depress appetite. And for some people, they also depress thinking about food. But they don't do something else, which is very important. No injection can change the habits and the programming of a lifetime. Let me give you an example. Let's go back to our childhood. Remember, even the language of love, honey, cookie, sweetie.
Oh my
And when you
God.
fall,
Oh my
and when you
God.
fall out of love, you call them a crumb. So,
Oh my
this,
God. I
our
didn't even
earliest
think about
program,
that.
how many of us have heard, eat, you will feel better? All
Well,
right.
yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
especially.
But overeat, they left out the other part. Overeat, and you'll be wearing it.
Oh my God.
Wait, that reminds me of something on your desk. I think we need to show.
It's heavy.
I mean, I have to say, I'm like,
I feel like I don't want to eat again. This is
Yeah.
like nature. This is the best Ozempic.
Yes.
This is, tell everybody who can
Yes.
see this what this
This
is.
is 5 pounds of
Oh
fat.
my God, it's heavy.
But the great advantage of being on the Upper East Side is everyone thought it's a piece of sculpture. So they often will say to me, "What is this on your desk?"
oh my gosh. But when you tell them it
Yes.
is 5 pounds
Then
of fat,
It's like Dracula seeing the cross.
it's like I don't even want to touch
That's
it.
right. That's right. But we have to remember this is what strawberry shortcake could look like on your body. Or
That's also kind of a sweet, like endearment. I feel like you would say
Yeah.
shortcake. Or
very much so, Caroline. Yeah. And I'm a great believer that there are no good or bad foods. There are only good or bad histories with a food. The same people gain back the same weight with the same foods at the same time of the day and week again and again.
muffins at night.
Yeah.
So
But some-
is it habit? Is
Part of it, no injection can change the habits of a lifetime. That's why I work with many people who are on the injections because they don't want the highest dose where they get the side effects. They want to be able to do the lowest dose and they want to be able to still lose the weight without the side effects. So I help them to stay on an optimal dose where they don't get the side effects, but they get the best side effect of all, losing weight without deprivation.
So can I ask, I've heard that the mechanism of action is that it like whatever part of your brain craves food or even, you know, drugs, alcohol, it somehow shuts that down, which is why it's being used for substance abuse.
Yes.
But is there a risk, like if you think about craving more broadly as like desire and love and spirituality and creativity, that it could dampen you as like you're a feeling person or no?
Okay. Having a background in psychology, I can answer that question. I have not noticed that, no. And it certainly hasn't dampened one's love for buying a beautiful piece of clothing or a smaller size.
Probably increased that.
Yes.
Right. We're going to help the economy.
Yes, of course. Well, we certainly have already helped the pharmaceutical stocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so there is no, so it's more of a food suppression versus a desire to do other things.
Well, you touch on a very important point, Caroline. There is hunger, and the injections are very helpful in reducing hunger. And for some people, but not all, they also reduce the thinking about it. Many people don't have that effect, okay? But I'll tell you, they don't change the habits of a lifetime. If you want to eat out of boredom, if you're eating because your husband objected to the Amex bill, not to be,
No, I mean,
not referring to anyone, not referring to
you
present
got the
company,
right audience.
You've dealt with many of us.
not referring to present company. But sometimes eating is not about food, but what's eating you.
Right.
And there's no
Oh.
injection that's going to deal with that. That's what I deal with. Get the moods out of the foods.
So it's not about what you eat, but it's what's eating you.
It's why you're eating
Sometimes,
too.
that's right. That's why many people on the injections are not having an optimal outcome. Because if you don't change the habits of a lifetime,
Right.
this is going to be temporary. All the injections have proven is nothing new that you can lose weight. They have not proven you could keep it off. But the
Yes.
studies show after 1 year, about 50% of the people go off the injections. After 2 years, 80%. Well, what are we going to do after this year or two? And that's why I change habits. Don't go to any diet doctor. Don't go to any diet person or nutritionist who hasn't studied habit psychology. How can you change the habits of a lifetime? if you have not studied this.
So
I
basically,
agree.
it's like every other diet, because I feel like whether it was Atkins or low carb or low fat, people or fasting, people go on these diets, they lose weight, but then they always end up at the same point. And that brings up a question I was actually just having last night at a dinner party. Is there a set point? Like, does your body just want to be a certain weight? So no matter what you do, up or down, it kind of hovers there.
There is a genetic factor, both in food preference and in how low your body can go. Look at your bone structure, okay? A larger person, height and everything, is not going to go to 107, 108. And sometimes I actually discourage the people who come to me. They want to go so low that they will feel like a failure because they cannot achieve that. But their body is not built for that number. Don't be in love with a number. Be in love with what works for you
What feels good.
and feeling in control. This is what injections don't do.
Right.
To take back control in your life is very psychologically empowering. To feel out of control in your life, no matter what you've accomplished,
Right.
is very depressing. Larry King asked me an interesting question. When I was on Larry King, he said to me, "Oh, Dr. Gullo, you've treated all these celebrities and you treated, I heard, the head of state and the families of presidents. Tell me, when their clothes don't fit, do they feel the same as the rest of us?" And I said to him, "Larry, whether you wear royal clothes or ordinary clothes, when nothing fits in the morning, it ruins your day."
Yes.
And I must tell you, the biggest embarrassment of my career is a short time afterwards. I got a call from Buckingham Palace, and I thought it was a joke, and I blew it.
Oh my God.
Well, what would you think if you get called?
I mean, if I was on Larry King, I would probably be like, maybe this is real.
Well, I was
Right.
trying to figure out which of my friends had this British accent.
That's
Oh
amazing.
But I
my
didn't handle it
gosh.
well.
But
Yeah.
why do we? It is so interesting. Like, and I agree. I'll put on a pair of jeans, even if I forgot I washed them. And if they're tight, I'm like in a bad mood. It's
Yeah.
stupid. But why do we do that to ourselves?
Because you know why? It's
No,
the
I'm
same
asking
reason-
you.
Well, for once you asked me a question I have the answer to. It's the same reason you live on the Upper East Side. Those of us who live here want the best of parks, the best of schools for our children, the best of doctors. We have very high standards for ourselves. And if
Mm.
that's the size you're accustomed to and nothing fits, you feel your life is going backwards. You feel out of control.
Yeah, you do.
You
right.
bought those pants not because they were tight, but because they fit. And when they no longer fit,
Yes.
you feel you're doing something wrong.
But then, like, as a society, we're setting ourselves up to fail because, you go through these stages of life. And as you grow older, whether it's, going through puberty or then having a baby or going through menopause, like, there are all these moments where your body changes. So instead of like greeting that as an opportunity or, sort of signaling like an achievement in your life, it's always like, I'm
But I feel like
terrible.
there's a
I gained 10
difference.
pounds. And it may not be because you ate differently.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
if it's like you've been eating muffins at night versus you just had a baby.
Yeah.
Or
You know
that
what I mean?
usually it's both.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're eating muffins at night because you just had a baby.
Right. And I have a question. So how did you get into to food? Because clearly you have an interesting relationship with food.
Yes. In a very atypical way. My great-grandfather and grandfather were pasta manufacturers.
Oh my God.
All right. So
Carbs on carbs.
Yeah, I grew up in a home where I had the finest of foods, but my parents did not worship food. They said it is a part of life. It is not life. And it must never come before the quality of your life.
Do you eat
So,
carbs?
I do, but I've never touched pizza because
That's your
a
trigger?
trigger food for me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. When I went to Italy recently for the wedding of one of our princesses from the Middle East, I ate all the food of Italy because there is a difference between extra calories, as in a Thanksgiving dinner, versus compulsive eating, eating the whole box of cookies.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So I wouldn't touch the bread basket because that's a trigger food for me, or pizza, but I could eat the other foods of Italy because it's just situational. There's a difference between situational events and compulsive eating.
But why pizza versus pasta?
Pizza triggers me.
Why do you think?
The texture is crunchy. Remember the Dorito effect, salty,
Yes.
crunchy? Remember the commercial, the Dorito effect? We bet you can't have just one. But I'll tell you something. If the potato chip was soft and soggy, you could have one. There are characteristics of food.
I'm just going to pour water on my food now.
Well, some people
probably
have
do
sprayed
that.
Windex on it.
No.
You said to me, you want to see what's in my refrigerator. Why don't you look at what's in my garbage pail? That's more revealing about
Right.
who I
It's
am.
like the Sex and the City episode where Miranda throws out the cake, but then takes it out of the garbage to keep
Well,
eating.
that's like in This Is 40. My husband does that. He takes cupcakes out of the garbage.
Yeah. Well, remember something. On the Upper East Side, since we've overcome our fear of needles, we're still afraid of bugs. So everyone's garbage pail is very clean.
Mm,
And I've had people throw things in the garbage pail, but then spray it with Windex.
I missed that memo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Or I like Reddi Whip, but I could eat the whole can. See, the only difference between me and my clients is I know I'm not going to have a little. They think they're going to have one cookie or something. But when you know your history with this food, you can predict. That's why the greatest myth in healthcare, in dieting, many of the people on the injections have not failed at weight control. Then why are they on these injections? The dietetic model has failed them. Teaching all foods in moderation is nonsense. Anyone who teaches that knows nothing about human behavior. And
Okay.
think about it. People who could do all foods in moderation, would they be coming for weight control therapy?
no, and they're
Hello?
certainly not
Hello?
they're Americans can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
There's food ads everywhere. I mean, it's
So
sort
you're
of
actually
like
saying it's the food is almost as, if not more important than the behavior. So it's
That's
not
right.
like somebody who can't just eat one. It's that way across the board with all the foods. It's specific foods.
Yes, that's why you want to know your food history. The Dorito commercial, I could have one potato chip because I don't have the salt gene.
me too. I don't care.
Yeah, we wouldn't waste our calories
Or
on
like
the pretzels.
cheese plate. No.
Yeah, but if I start with one cookie,
Oh.
You know,
Mm.
I want to tell you the story of one of my clients who lost 60 pounds on the highest dose of Mounjaro. And I said to her, remember your history now as we go into the holiday season. Every year you give a Christmas party, even though you're Jewish, and you eat more calories than any of my Christian patients.
Well, that's not surprising.
I said, you're very ecumenical when it comes to calories. So I said, do not buy the cookies this year. Of course,
she did.
sometimes advice goes out the window. I'm not judgmental. I understand human behavior. So she buys the cookies, and for the company, of course, and eats the whole box of cookies before the company gets there, and says to me, what does hunger have to do with anything? And you know what? There's a profound insight that everyone on these injections should remember. It's not always about hunger. It's about availability. It's about what's eating you. Stop buying the foods that you have 100% failure rate with.
That's like Danny DeVito. I forget what movie it was where he goes, "You want a donut?" And somebody goes, "I'm not hungry." He goes, "You don't have to be hungry to eat a donut."
That's right. Caroline, that is so right on. It's
Right.
all about availability.
So is this what you mean when you talk about the relationship between mood and food?
Yes. And you know, people often assume because I have a psychology background that the people who come to me must have psychological problems. On the contrary, the people who come to me are the most accomplished people in America. They do not lack willpower. They all went to the same 10 schools. All right? And they all have their kids with 16 tutors. So they have no shortage of foods they love or tutors.
Basically, our community.
Yep.
That's right. We are a unique breed of cat. And, all right?
I love that.
So, and I tailor my therapy to the personality style. A lot of the people who live in this zip code do not know the meaning of the word moderation. As a matter of fact, I say to them, if you were very good with moderation, you wouldn't be living here. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even be coming to me and paying my fees if you were good with moderation.
Right.
But, you know, Warren Buffett said a great insight about human behavior. He said, intensity is the price of excellence. It is the price of excellence, but it is not the friend of moderation. Most of us around here are high achievers. And even if we're not working in an office, we're working at home and teaching our children high achievement.
Yeah.
And we are not moderate in our aspirations. We are not moderate in our IQ.
Right.
We are not moderate in our income. So why should we worry about being moderate with a cookie?
But can I ask you, it's
brilliant.
sort of counterintuitive in the sense that people always say the middle of the country is very heavy and the coasts are not. And the coasts are where, I guess I'd argue, the more high achieving people are.
Yes. And
But you're not just dealing with obese people. He's dealing with someone who wants to lose like 20 pounds or 10 pounds.
Well,
right. Like we're a perfection culture.
Yes,
so it's not like it's obese people. It's like all the people who you have to hit that highest perfect bar.
Yeah. A short time ago, one of my patients came upstairs and said to me, "Do you realize how heavy I am?" When I walked into your lobby, the doorman looked at me and said, "Oh, you must be going to see Dr. Gullo."
Oh, no.
I said, "No, he didn't say that. He said that because you got out of a chauffeur-driven Maybach and you're dressed in Chanel and it's 3:00 in the afternoon and no one's coming into this building at 3:00 in the afternoon out of a chauffeur-driven Maybach." I said, "No, it's not that, all right?"
But it shows how we're all so
That's
mental.
right. That's judgmental. And I don't want people to be guilty. I don't want them to judge themselves.
Yeah.
Judge the food, judge strategy.
Oh,
And I want to let you in on a great insight that I didn't get in the beginning. Success at weight control is not about willpower. It is about strategy. Strategy is stronger than willpower. When you're tired, willpower goes out the window. When you're upset with your mother-in-law or a friend, willpower goes out the window.
yes.
So, but strategy, not buying certain foods or only buying individual servings, knowing what works for you is much more powerful than willpower.
You have a great saying that I think it really encapsulates that, which is you've never had a stress eat or bake a chicken.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Right? Because you're not snacking.
Yeah,
let me put some rosemary and get the oven on. You're not doing that.
Caroline, you have a way of cutting through everything to get to the bottom line. Let me just tell you the bottom line. Most people do not gain weight all day long. There's a certain time of the day. It might be at night. It might be 4:00. Know your hour. Know your trigger foods.
Yep.
And the GLP-1 injections do not change that. You mentioned about your mom that she doesn't think about food if she goes on an injection or something, but she's an exceptionally accomplished and focused human being. She's one of a kind.
Well, you definitely set my parents straight. I will actually say that my parents, I'll know if like my mom's angry at my father if I go into the kitchen and there's just jars filled with easily accessible food. It's like pretzels
that's right.
or almonds or anything that's not a pistachio, which is your recommended nut. I'm like, this is
what
my
dad
mom.
do.
No, my dad will just eat it all. And then, why did you let me eat that?
Yeah.
I know. She's mad.
torturing
She's
you.
torturing him.
Yeah. As I once joked with your dad, if you could have a little, you wouldn't have the lifestyle you have today.
That's true.
It's not a disadvantage. It's a great advantage. But you have to know how to channel your intensity. There's a reason Warren Buffett offered his son $10,000 if he saw him eating a jelly donut. All right? Because, a lot of intense people do not have the moderation gene. Know that about yourself.
What's difference? I feel like alcohol people can do in moderation. What do you think's the difference between that versus food?
By the way, a lot of people cannot do alcohol.
No, that's true. But I do think
depends on which genetic group you're talking about.
Okay, right. I guess the Jews are not good with the food.
Jews and Italians are not usually wasting their calories on a glass that looks like vodka. They're more interested in a tiramisu or a Godiva chocolate. Yeah.
Wait, a glass of vodka has calories?
Yes, of course. I don't mean to surprise anyone.
But it has the least amount.
But people think about, I feel like that's
You're a rare breed who doesn't think alcohol is calories.
I know.
I don't know. But it is true. I think there are so many more people, or I think people think that they can. If you know you're an alcoholic, you're not, you go to rehab, you know you have to stay away from it. You're going to be sober, you're committing. But food is it's a harder line, I feel, for people. They think they can have a donut, even
Mhm.
though they know they can't. It's very hard to be
Yeah.
clear about that.
Let me tell you the GPS that can guide you to the world
Right.
of food.
To be carb sober.
Ask, what is my history with this food? And take a few bites of a food. Say, does it satisfy or stimulate?
Yes.
And also, you're touching on something else. A lot of people fail on weight programs because they feel deprived and they feel they're missing out. That's why if you are going to Europe, I'm not going to tell you you can't go to Televant or one of the great restaurants of France and have the 12-course dinner or a 10-course dinner. That's a one-timer. It's what you start in your day-to-day life. It's the eating at a boredom.
But what if that triggers somebody? That, not everybody can just have that one-time dinner and then go, oh, now I'm back on the wagon.
But he's saying you can because it's not a habitual eating. It's like a special occasion eating.
Very close to the truth. This is a surprise to many people. Most people do not gain the weight back from the food. They gain the weight back from the mindless snacking or the bread basket. It's not the main entrees. It's not that they're going to a gourmet restaurant every night. People are very good at boxing in a special meal, or when they're, remember the Las Vegas commercial? What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Yes.
I tell my people, what happens in Italy stays in Italy unless you wear it back.
Ooh.
So be selective.
Yes.
Or as one of my, each week I make individualized messages on your smartphone where we rehearse what's coming up for the week. So you're already prepared. You've already made your decisions. And I'm very, very careful to identify people's history and ask always, does the food satisfy or stimulate?
That's a great question.
I know. I love that.
Your body is talking to you. Don't listen to me. Listen to your body.
Right.
I am just the messenger.
Right. But I think your body's trying to talk to you, but then your brain is getting involved.
Which is why the GLP-1s are helping people.
Well, no, he's saying for a lot of people, it doesn't stop the brain talking.
For some, it does. Others, it doesn't.
Right.
But I'll tell you what really stops the problem. Thin starts in the supermarket. Don't.
Yeah. It's so funny.
So true.
Don't put it in the shopping cart if you know this is a food you've been abusing for 20 years. And stop saying the great lie, I'm buying it for company, I'm buying it for children. There's plenty of other choices.
Right.
Although the good thing about the Upper East Side is many of my clients would never go within 1,000 feet of a supermarket.
So
But
that's
that
good.
was actually a question we had for you, probably more about the younger generation. But now you can get anything you want with a touch of a screen. So my kids will be in the mood for McDonald's. They can order it on Uber Eats and it's there in 10 minutes. So doesn't that add so much more difficulty to all this?
Once again, you're touching on a critical point. There are trigger foods. There are trigger people who make you eat. And there are trigger situations. For some of my people, I say, stop ordering from the computer. Pick 3 or 4 restaurants in your neighborhood. Familiar is much easier to manage.
It's not exciting, so you don't really.
Yeah. And also think about the screen. It's like going to a buffet.
Yes.
You have all these choices.
Yes.
All right. And I work with addictive behaviors, including alcohol. Some of my patients have issues with pornography. So the intense personality can go in many different directions.
Yes.
My specialty is eating, but we can be addicted to a person.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
One has to know our greatest strength is to know our weaknesses.
Right.
Gosh, you're such a profound person.
I always feel like sometimes your greatest strengths are also your greatest weaknesses. Like it's two sides of the same coin.
Which is what you're saying. The
that's what you're
intensity
saying
of
about the
Upper East Side.
intensity. Yes.
And when you're like, I wouldn't go into a pizza parlor.
Oh, the smell would kill you.
Many years ago, I'm out on a date, and my lady friend says, I'm starving. I have to go into a pizza. I have to grab a pizza here. It's a snowy day. And I say, I'll wait for you outside. She said, it's snowing and everything. Why are you going to wait outside? So I don't want to tell her my whole history and everything. So I say, oh, I'm claustrophobic. It's too crowded in there. But the truth is, I didn't want to smell the pizza
That's
because I
amazing.
was also hungry. So one has to know how to manage
Right.
one's weaknesses, including my client who they broke into our house at the beach. They stole the safe. The only thing in the safe was her husband's chocolate chip cookies.
Oh my
So
God.
you know what?
That's
I
genius.
said to her, I hope the thieves love cookies as much as you.
They were probably very angry.
And when the husband said to her, we have to report it, this is a crime. She said, if you think I am going to go to the police station, and when they say, which jewelry, what did you steal? What did they steal? Your gold bars? And I'm going to say they stole my cookies. They'll think I'm a mental case.
Oh my God.
He should have said you
we
are.
mustn't lose our sense of humor about ourselves.
Right.
We are not perfect people. No therapy will make us perfect.
I think.
sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I think one of the most wonderful qualities you have that has to be part of your, a recipe for success is your humor and how you talk about the importance of keeping that through all of
Yes,
life's
yeah,
challenges. So you just reminded me with the safe, you have a great line you say about a woman's weight.
Yes.
So the only thing heavy.
Yes. Oh, yes. I would know what you're referring to. It's not Godiva. It's Cartier. I say to some of my patients, the only thing that should be heavy on a beautiful woman is diamonds. Many are
Tell
cured,
my husband.
Many are cured instantly.
That's really good.
on Mr. Abramowitz's yacht, one Christmas season in St. Bart's. Everyone was speaking this way. No, we don't want the chocolate. We'd rather have the diamonds and the
Oh my
bikini.
gosh.
Right.
know?
No, what did you say about a bikini?
Yeah. Better a bikini than linguine.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah. We
Genius.
mustn't lose our sense of humor.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you
This
can't-
is a high-end problem, and if you don't know how to manage it, it can become all-consuming. If you have the right strategies, I have studied the winners at weight control. And if you look at what the winners do, they know how to do something that weight programs don't teach. No weight program emphasizes error correction. Whether you go off the medicine or whether you lose your weight and you're at the ideal number, you're going to make mistakes in the decades ahead. I emphasize error correction, how to correct for the extras, how to correct for the trip to Italy or
Oh,
something.
interesting.
And that's why I think I have the success rate. When the New York Times rated our practice one of the top 2 for weight control,
Wow.
they forgot something. The people who come to me are winners. You cannot teach height in basketball.
You
But I
should
have a
take
group of
credit
people.
too,
Yeah.
because you get a lot of credit. And I'm curious, like say I were planning a trip, when you say you help people with this, like what would like if I came to you and said, Dr. Gullo, I want to drop weight,
Yeah.
but I'm going on vacation to, I don't know,
the
Yes,
Hamptons.
The
yes,
Hamptons.
Yes. Well, I should move my office there. The first thing I would say, each week, Eva, I would make you a message. There's 2 things you want to know about the Hamptons. One, I would say on the first message of the season, do you want to be a Hampton or a Hampton? And then, do you remember Julius Caesar and how they warned him about the Ides of March? Well, if you live in the Hamptons, and I think a lot of people listening today are going to fit this category. If you live in the Hamptons, there is the Ides of August. The
Ooh.
last 2 weeks of August 15th on, everybody has made their grand appearances at parties. They've had their pictures taken. They're all sitting around on vacation with the house loaded with nibble foods. Remember, so many people gain the weight back by finger eating rather than what they're eating at a Le Cirque or a Danielle. Yeah.
I have a question just as a parent.
Yes, Kate.
Obviously we have
Yeah.
kids. I grew up, I was, a chubby kid. My parents clearly have a interesting relationship with food, hence they're your clients. How do I not pass this on to my kids? Like if my son or daughter
Yeah.
is chubby or not
Yeah.
chubby and what do you do?
Okay. This is a very profound question because one of the things parents may not realize is one of the things you're teaching your children are eating habits that will be with them for the rest of their lives, that will either imprison them in a lifetime of weight issues or liberate them from. First of all, never teach guilt. Don't say you can't have it. Like, I grew up in a home, a European family, where I never saw pretzels, potato chips. My parents never said, you cannot eat that. They said, it's not a healthy food. We don't keep it at home. So you can teach health without making them feel guilty, that it's not the healthiest of food. And also,
But you still don't have to have it in
Yeah.
your house.
yeah, or you don't need to have it in the house unless somebody insists on having it. But remember, there are no good or bad foods. Say to your child, does it work for you? Can you have one serving, or does it make you want to have 5 or 6? And it's not you, the food itself. Remember the Dorito effect?
Right.
The food triggers your appetite. Listen to teach your children to learn what their body is trying to teach them. That way they don't feel guilty. They feel like they're engaging in self-mastery.
I love that.
Just a follow on to that.
Yeah.
How important is mealtime and sitting together and at a kitchen table for meals?
Well, I'll tell you something that's even more important than weight. When people have strong family bonds, they don't go to food for emotional support. So I think it's very important to have family discussions without cell phones interrupting you. There has to be some time that we box in this personal one-on-one time. You know, where do we learn love? Where do we learn to care for one another?
At home.
Yeah. And it's not like, diets are just words on a page. It's all about practice. That's what I practice. But I see the people who come to me, my clients, as whole people. I tell them this is not the work of dieting. This is the work of happiness, of being happier with yourself, looking in the mirror each day and feeling I'm in control in my life. I don't teach guilt. I don't teach deprivation. I teach self-mastery. I teach forgiveness. I teach understanding and knowing what works and what doesn't work. I am not, when I went to Italy with my friends said to me, oh, it's so sad you're an Italian and you can't go into a pizza parlor. I said, in a world where there's cancer and AIDS, if I think I'm deprived because I don't go to a pizza parlor, I don't have a weight problem. I suffer from PMS, poor me syndrome. Okay, the other PMS.
Yeah, we gotta cure a lot of PMS around this world.
Right, all right.
Yeah, Upper East Side has a lot of that.
Yeah. So we must remember, it's only in the area of food that people think I should be able to have it all.
Right.
And if you have everything in life, but a chocolate chip cookie doesn't work for you, if you want to feel deprived, you have a value issue. This is not a diet issue.
Yeah.
And that's why I make the messages for people each week to change the thinking. The brain has a neuroplasticity. You can change the habits, the thinking of a lifetime. Eat, you'll feel better, that
Yes.
childhood teaching. But you have to know how to do it, and it doesn't come from an injection.
What I love so much about this conversation is it's life advice. It's not just diet
That's
advice.
right.
This is about how to build self-worth, be comfortable and
That's right.
happy with yourself and all of your imperfections.
And stay in
That's
your
right.
own lane. You
Yeah.
know, focus
That's
on.
right. Yeah. And staying in your own lane means you know where the guardrails are.
And-
Can't have it all in life. If you want to be an unhappy person, approach life thinking you should have it all. And you'll ruin your relationships, you'll ruin your career, and ruin your marriages.
Yes.
Right.
There's a great quote that maybe we end on. I'm blanking on who said it, but comparison is the thief of joy.
It's so true. And I think, and we all know that everybody has their own weaknesses and strengths, and it's
That's
knowing
right.
those.
That's right. And we don't have to be perfect people. You know, when I squirt the Reddi Whip down the drain so I don't eat the whole can, I laugh at myself and I say, yes, the inmates may be running the asylum, but this is New York. Real estate counts. We own the asylum. We can make up our own rules.
Woohoo!
So-
I love that.
I do.
Make up the rules that work for your life and don't apologize to people.
I hate apologizing.
Yeah, well, I
But-
noticed.
But tell my husband that he still has to apologize to me.
Yes, yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
I know we're double standard.
Right,
Yeah.
double standards here. No, I think you're just, it's really, it shows just how much food is so deeply tied to your roots, and it's making me think about how I sit at the table with my kids and what do I do? And you know what? I'm thinking like, I feel like dogs have it all. They usually eat only, except your dog, if they're hungry, and they eat at the same time of day. Like we should just copy our animals, eat in the morning and then eat at night.
Yes.
Like one time, no
Yes.
snacking. Like it's kind of smart.
Well, what you
I don't know where that came from.
Yes,
but-
no, but it has a relationship to emotional eating. Do you know in a recent study, 1/3 of American parents said they prefer the dogs to the children? And some of my people come to me because the children are driving them crazy. And I say to them, I cannot change what you're dealing with. I can change how you deal with it.
Yes.
Sometimes in life, we have no choice. But when we have no choice, we have a choice about how we respond to it. There is a smart way that works and a way that just repeats the failures of the past.
I mean, I think we should end on that. I mean, Dr. Gullo, you are so wise, and I've learned so much today. And I feel that your patients are really, really lucky. And we should put in the show notes, all of your books and, the links to your website, because I think that this is about life. Like this is I mean, I know food is a centerpiece of life, but all of, your principles and the idea of strategy and self-care and humor, like that's about life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Eva, your point is so relevant to the people who are watching this podcast. These are people who could afford to go to the best restaurants, the best countries and best hotels. They have an added measure of temptation. And how do you live this life of blessings and not let the blessings become your problems? That's where life wisdom. A lot of brilliant people do not have wisdom. I've just made more mistakes than my clients. So that's how come I have wisdom.
You're just more aware. But thank you so much for this time. You are so brilliant, so funny. You are one of a kind. And we're just so appreciative to have you. I don't know if there's any last sayings that we missed that you just think our audience needs to hear.
Well, just remind everyone watching, nothing is free in life. And if you really must continue to eat foods that don't work for you, you have to ask the adult question, do I like it enough to wear it? And for some of my patients,
like this.
Yes, 5 pounds. And for some of my patients, I say, you look much better in Armani than Linguini.
Better to wear Italian than eat Italian. Thank you. I heard that a lot growing up.
Yes. I apologize for any child abuse you've suffered as a result of my voice.
It's okay.
Do you like it enough to wear it? That should be the mantra every time you sit down with an ice cream or fries or anything else.
Yeah, but we also don't want to, have disordered eaters out here. But know your triggers. I know mine and the time. Those are mine are muffins and at night.
Know your people, know your places, and know your
triggers,
your foods.
And remember, diets are just words on a page. I teach how to live it without deprivation. That is the art and the challenge.
Yes.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my
was a
God.
pleasure.
Thank you. I mean, you're used to being with Oprah and Larry King. Thank you for letting us talk to you.
But I have to let you in on the secret. I enjoyed this much more because of the personal bonds that all of us have.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
This
you.
was
Well,
amazing.
we look forward to having you back or coming back again. Thank you. And with that, we're going to should we say mic drop or should we say something else like food drop, fat drop?
Fat drop. No, leave all the negativity at the door.
That's right.
Just let it go.
Yes.
And don't eat the pizza if it triggers you.
Yeah. And the best taste of all is the taste of success in the way we live our lives.
I love that.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mic drop.